Hey, what's happening, everybody? Rod J back again to take a look at another beer. Well, I've come to the end of my journey through the beers sent to me from Adelbert's brewery. Thanks again, Sarah, out of Austin, Texas. This one is actually going to be a look at the Flyin Monks. So this is actually their handcrafted Belgian-style quad. And this one is an ale fermented with oak rum chips. Save this one for last. All their beers like this one are bottle conditioned. Again, 1 pint, 9.4 ounce bottle. This comes in at 10.9% ABV as well. There on the side, you can see a lot of the information about the beer, which I'll give to you here in a second. But you can see at that top, serve at 55 to 70 degrees. So I actually took this and let it sit out for a little bit, just so I can let it warm up some. And serve in the proper glass. They actually prefer snifter. Batch number 15. This one was actually bottled August 5th, 2016. And today is January 17th, 2017. And taking a look at some information about this beer. Flyin Monks. 2015 gold medal from Artisan Awards. 2015 International Craft Competition Awards gold medal. 2014 Rockies Southwest Regional Champion by United States Beer Tasting Championship. Some details about the ale. Conditioned on oak cubes used by Spirit of Texas Distillery to age their Pecan Street rum. This ale has a complex, sweet oak rum flavor with a warm alcoholic finish. Pair with dark chocolate desserts or bold cheeses. The story behind it, as I've mentioned on some of the other videos, on the front is actually the person they call Dell. He was actually the founder of the brewery, and each of the bottles carry a story that they kind of picked up from things that he used to tell as some of his tales. The power of flight can be achieved through Zen-like focus and concentration. This ale will not help. So that was the story listed on this one. Really pumped up to check this one out. As I mentioned, going through some of their beers, Belgian ales are the style I actually prefer the most. So let's go ahead and get this baby open and get it into a glass and see what it has to offer. So I just popped the top on this one, and just a nice amount of sweetness and the aroma actually came out. You can really pick up some of those oak chips they actually used there. You get a nice rum scent. Don't want to spill any. Wow, that smells so delicious. So you take a look at that dark color, pretty much a very, very dark mahogany type brown. No head on it really, so didn't have a head come out on this one. Get it going down the sides. You can see some of the alcohol legs actually taking place on the glass as well. So a very nice looking Belgian quad. Now this one is darker than things I'm usually used to, so I'm thinking that's coming from the rum and the oak chips and how this one was actually designed in here. Can't see anything through it, so it is that dark. It's not fully to a jet black, but a nice darkness on it, and it doesn't list what the IBUs are that I'm seeing right here on the website at all. But I'm not expecting it to be too bitter at all, so let's go ahead and get that aroma. Such a nice sweet smelling beer. That rum, as I mentioned, that you kind of get from the pour of the bottle, you get that right out of the glass. It's got a nice sweetness to it, a nice, I want to say, like almost like a tanginess or something with it. It's got just a nice feel. I mean, you could almost envision the rum barrels that are usually used. I mean, and they're just using basically the oak cubes they condition this on, as mentioned, but you just get a picture of, rum. You get that kind of flavor like you were down in one of the Caribbean islands or at one of the rum plants or rum distilleries. But it's got a nice, just sweet smelling smell to it. I can see how that aroma would match up nicely too for some of the dark, decadent type desserts. Wow, very decent. Let's check that taste though. Oh, woo! That's really good. I mean, that is a nice amount of a sweetness to it. It hits the tongue nicely, goes down very smoothly. You do feel a little bit of that warmth from the alcohol, that initial bite to the beginning of the tongue. But then the flavors, it's got a body to it that just opens up nicely. It's definitely full body in that regard. It's got a nice amount of texture on it that it's just solid all around in what it's doing. You do pick up a little bit of that sweetness on the back end of it. Now, if you're not a person that's into a lot of overly sweet type beers, you may find it at a point to be a little bit too sweet. But for me, I like how it's actually pressing that level. I think this is actually a great beer that's got a nice amount of complexity to it that you can actually sit here and drink on this for a while. It's not one you're going to race through. You're going to want to take your time with it. And you're definitely, if you're a quad type fan, you can definitely enjoy this. Feeling the warmth heat up now inside the inside my chest a little bit from the stuff going down from the neck. But I'm watching the beer inside the glass, and you just see all that carbonation taking place. It's got some nice lively carbonation that you can see it from the top down as the bubbles are just popping. Just a lot of good action taking place there. And it's got a nice pop to it. And it's almost like with the rum chips I guess they used in here, it's like they took the like a Belgian style type ale, but they kind of flipped it a little bit to give it like its own little personal touch from what they're doing here at Adelbert. So I can see why this one has probably won some of the awards that it did. Again, they've kind of taken it and they made it their own. On the label, it also mentions enjoy the flight. You just know you're going to kick back and relax to this one. That heat coming in, you know, right now it's actually January 17th. Today was actually one of the weird days. We were like in the 60s. It's going down into the 50s tonight. But it's one of those things that in winter, this is actually a nice one to actually have too, that you can just let it warm you up some and enjoy some of the flavor. Do feel a little bit of a scratchiness in the throat, but nothing really harsh from it. But you can just feel that actually scraping down a little bit. But at 10.9, you're expecting to get a little bit of something like that to take place. And it's got that candy sweetness with it too. It's like a black licorice type feel to it. A little bit of a dark fruit type feel to it. I also picked that up a little bit in this one as well. But overall, a very nice beer. Again, I'm very appreciative for Adelbert's and for Sarah for contacting me to check out some of their beers to do some reviews. This one is up there. This is going to be one of my top 2 out of the 6 I've had, because I've had this one and the other one I had was the special release that they took the Philosophizer and they put it into the gin barrels. I'm going to say that's probably my favorite one, but this is number 2 behind it. Both of them, some nice tasting beers. Good job. If you ever get down to Austin, Texas, you might want to check out Adelbert's Brewery. Again, there's their label. Nice classic look on the label. There you can see right there, brewed and bottled, Austin, Texas. But definitely a beer I would recommend. So again, Flyin Monks, check it out if you get a chance. Not sure on their distribution, but if you're around that Texas area, maybe Oklahoma or things around Arizona, somewhere around that Southwest, maybe you're getting some of these beers, check them out, see what you think about it. But thanks again for swinging by, check out another video. I definitely appreciate you taking some time here. I look forward to catching you in the next one. As always, keep drinking good craft beers, and cheers.